Okay, so let's start round 2. I quickly went and scanned down that deep flow rift we found in the previous film, only to realise that I'd brought the wrong ship. So my history of making tactical errors continues. Got this weird skin for the coercer. Looks quite dull. Looks like an old shoe. But that's fine. So we're going to hit a couple of systems. We're going to try and scan down deep flow rifts. If we find a lot of data or relic sites, we'll swap ships and we'll scan those down. Okay, so yep, that system is pretty done. Let us go. Let's go to Ullara. Ullara. 1L. Ullara. Okay, yeah, who knows? I do wonder where they come up with these names sometimes. Although the ship names are awesome. Coercer, I like that. That's like being persuaded into doing something somewhat reluctantly. That is a fantastic name for a ship. I love the Ishtar, which is probably one of my favorite ships. Ishtar, I think, now I'm going to be told, is it Persian or Arabic for star, I think, which is super appropriate for a spaceship. So this is a 0.7 system. Do have a lot of... Oh, we're on our own in the system as well. So do you know what? Let's try and scan these down, I think. So let's launch some drones. Still cloaked. So let us... some drones. Oh yeah, this is a massive system. So look at that. With the scanning radius set to 4 AU, they're barely visible, but they're all kind of, all the scannable sites are sort of dotted around celestial objects. Celestial, I think, sure that means star as well. Celestial, I mean heavenly. Gosh, fun with words. Should probably... Oh, that's the other little bit of news. So I got a couple of mobile tractor units. I paid 8 million. And they make running down the deep flow rift sites a lot easier. We see, well, as I said earlier on, we seem to have more ISK than I was expecting. And I've looked through the wallet to see if there's anything kind of weird. I can't see that there is. People have just been buying stuff. Oh, I'm looking in the corporation. There you go. Look, the corporation is worth 52 million. But yeah, I had a quick look through here, and there's nothing ridiculous. But we have just been selling lots of stuff, which is really cool. Zoom in to scan rate. Find some hacking sites as well, some data and relic sites. In which case I will dock this ship up and go and get the other. Sancha Lookout. I think it's Sancha Lookout, which is a really interesting site because you've got some ore. There's one or two of these sites that you can scan down that are clearly a sort of legacy site that goes back to an older version of Eve. And it spawns some really useful rocks that you can't normally get in HiSec. And the obviously the version of the site that exists is like a holdover from an earlier version of Eve. So with my main character, what I usually do is I'll run the site and kill all the rats with one ship. then I'll warp an orca in with a mining ship in it. Get all the rocks as well. Going back to what we've talked about on occasion about always having a couple of ways of making some ISK. A little saucy with me. Please be deep flow. Nope. Chemical yard. Okay, so I suspect... Let's go to 2. I suspect it's the one that's furthest away. Scan. Haven't quite worked out the ratio of the security settings, the system security, and see where it goes, just out of principle. Not going to be going into any wormhole space today, but probably will be down the line. I think we've mentioned before that the wormhole space has some of the most... If you can find a gas site in a wormhole, you can make some really serious ISK. Let's quickly, shall we? So let's try. You can see in the background that we're continue to scan. Let's go to 2. Well, see the wormhole in the background. So I think this is going to be a wormhole to wormhole space. If it's a wormhole to regular space, you'll see in this outer, probably the event horizon, the outer ring here of the wormhole, you'll see some of the nebula that we've talked about previously. Oh, there's 2 wormholes. There's another one. Oh, that's pretty nice. Yeah, wormhole class 1 to 3 wormhole systems. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, hopefully we'll have a high sec to high sec wormhole pop up at some point, and we will have a look at the difference. Just goes to show the level of complexity and richness of the game. Let's be thorough. Let's be unusually thorough for me. More wine as well. Cheers. Let's minimize that for a minute. Ooh. See, there's definitely... Can you see that there's definitely something kind of there? But it's kind of the colour of Caldari space, but I've got a feeling it might still be a worm space. And you can usually tell by the undulations in the event horizon. You can usually tell when a wormhole's coming to the end of its life. This one's only got an hour left. It's perfect. So let us align to that. Oh no, not jump. Clumsy clicking, typical. Okay, so we have scan down. Scan this. Change that. Looks like it's all contained within the 1 AU radius. Scan. This system is absolutely huge. This is one where if you try and walk from end to end, out of capacitor, which is hilarious. So I didn't find anything with the 1 AU setting, so I've bumped the radius up to 2 AU. There we go. So we've got a little. Okay, so still haven't remembered the word I was trying. I'm just going to go ahead and call them scanning sites. Oh, I know there's another word for it. Hypothetical viewer. Wormhole, what is with this system? Anybody that's an EVE player watching this will be absolutely screaming at the screen right now. Yeah, I think... oh, hello. All right, we can... Oh, I warped in on that one just as it ended its life. That's hilarious. No? Aha, right. So, can you see on here? We've got a little bit of space over here, which I think possibly looks like Galente and maybe a bit of Amar. That's Galente. This could be a low sec or a high sec worm. Let's have a little look. Low sec. Yeah, that's not. That looks a little dodgy. If I walk through there, I might accidentally close it. But yeah, I think that's we're sort of between Amar and Minmatar space and Galente space. So somewhere low sec there. Yeah. We won't be going into that. Especially not with our absolutely weak as a kitten ship. Scan the others down. But yeah, so you can see in the appearance of the wormhole approximately where it's going to land. Somebody that's really switched on and good could probably give you a more accurate location for the other end of that wormhole. So still got a few scan down in them. Somebody's ringing a bell in the background. Scan that. If we find a wormhole to low sec, which has a bit more life on it, I might try just... The locals won't want to shoot me in the face. Fingers crossed, everyone. Deep flow rift. See if we could find a couple of deep flow rift sites and get the loot from them. Think about this. If we find 2 a day, say we take 20 million each, so the 40 million. You know, it's a little more, isn't it? Once we up, so say call it 50 million for 2. We could power through the challenge. Gosh, hang on. 50 million, so 100 million. Just that much. Some serious ISK doing it. My mental arithmetic just deserted me. Could you hear the sound of an old brain frantically working? Oh, there we go. Fantastic. Okay, let's minimize this for a minute. Let's go and run this deep flow rift. So we were talking about the mobile tractor unit. What that does is you deploy it in space, which you'll see in a minute. And as we use the tractor beams to pull the cans from the rift, the tractor unit will drag the cans into the internal storage of the MTU, and I can then access those. So it means that I don't have to zip around quite so much, and I should be a bit more efficient. We love efficiency, don't we? Okay, so I am going to... You can deploy a mobile tractor unit either by launch for self, so right click and then launch for self, or you can physically drag it into space. But for what we're doing today, I've just launched it. I think we will try... We'll get some cans from this one. Hopefully it won't take more than about 10 minutes. And then we will try and scan down the remainder in this system. Remainder of scannable sites. Then we will call it a day for video number 2. And you see the cans that are dropping from the rift are being dragged into the MTU. And I am literally just parked, relaxing, chilling, watching the world go by. It's too quick pressing the button there. So the MTUs are worth about 8 million ISK each. But for running sites, and especially for running the combat sites, they're really good as well, because what you can do is you can warp in, deploy the can, kill all the rats, and the MTU will drag all of the rats to it. So rather than, as we have done in the past, where I've kind of flown around individual wrecks, salvaging them, the MTU will remove all the contents of the wrecks and drag all the wrecks into one place. We may get tactical and get 2, so what we can do is drop one off at one site, have it scoop up all the loot in one site while we're running the second site. But I'm going to have a bit of a think about that. As with so much of what we do, needs a bit of thought process. We are... So... Yeah, for 5 minutes and we've got 4 cans. 3 minutes and we've got 4 cans. So we are ripping through this one. Well, I am hitting the salvagers. Excuse me, the tractor beams. I'm going to have a little bit of wine. Let's zoom out a bit so we can gaze into the void. We can literally scream into the void if we want, and don't we all fancy a bit of screaming into the void on occasion? Or is it just me? Maybe it's just me. But this is... So if we can earn 20 minutes every 20 million every 15 minutes. That is a pretty good rate of return. That's more profitable than mining, and it's more profitable than scanning for data and relic sites. Potentially. Either way, it's really good ISK for a new bro. So, actually, how... Birthday. So we were born on the 17th. So it's nearly our 1-month birthday. Wow. That time has absolutely flown by. We have spent and earned 2.7 million skill points. And I think from our... We've still got over 500,000 skill points unallocated. So by joining via a referral link, you get 1 million free skill points. I think an alpha character can train up to about 5 million skill points, and then you have to make a decision whether you want to stick with the game and become an Omega character. So we've earned, or we're worth 400 million in just under a month, which I think is pretty good going. When I played as my main character, it took me ages to get to a billion, because anytime I would have like 100 or 200 million ISK to spare, I would just buy a new ship and go and blow it up. When I was playing my original main character, which is the one that goes back to about 2010, I literally didn't have a clue what I was doing. Back then, I think that predates YouTube. So these days, whenever you start a new game or if you're trying to change the indicator bulb on your Renault Megane or whatever, we have got this fantastic resource, which is YouTube. But back then we didn't have it. We just had to figure stuff out ourselves. We had to rely on the in-game tutorials and what have you, which generally were a bit pants. Credit to CCP Games, the newest versions of the tutorial, which we had in episode 1 to 4 or 5, are actually really, really good and much more intuitive than the original versions of. So we have had 7 cans in 6 minutes. So we are doing pretty well. I should probably stop talking. Yeah, but hang on, what's the point of recording a video for people, or hypothetical people, to watch without talking? So you can see the tractor beams. You can see the tractor beams that I am activating with F1, 2 and 3 keys. While the cans drop, you can see them being dragged into our MTU. The MTU shows up almost like having another bay. And it can hold 27 meters cubed. So it's enormous. When our hold is only 431 meters cubed. Or cubic meters if you prefer. Or what would that be? About 1,000 cubic feet to our esteemed USA colleagues. I've just made that last number up. So we are on 9 cans and 7 minutes elapsed. So yeah, we're doing pretty well. It's a bit the mark hitting. On 10 cans. Absolutely killing. I don't think we'll fast forward through this bit, but I think we'll fast forward through the scanning bit. That is a little dry. I think some form, because of the nature of the challenge, I think some form of PvE is probably going to be the way. Combination of PvE, mining, and industry stuff is going to be the way we get to our billion. I think the second $500 million will be quicker to earn than the first $500 million. I was hoping to run some security missions, but I think that might be a subject for the next video. If you can't think of what you want to do, there are mining missions, distribution missions, security missions, and a couple of other things as well, which pop up from time to time. There are storyline missions as well. Oh, I thought we'd stopped. I'm in and eyeing our way through these things. If we go to the, let's have a look and see what. Industrialist, explore. Click the wrong. That's what we want. Distribution, security, mining, R&D. Never got into that. That's interesting. There's no one nearby. Okay, so we're not going to get into that. But we could. Let's have a look. I know that there is a level 2 Mariam Leokin. And I think there's a level 4 mining mission. Mining agent. But let's have a look at the security then. So let's go available to me with 5 jumps. So available. Okay, so there's quite a few. So we can run level 2 security missions. Yeah, perfect. Oh, I think I just tried to use the energy neutralizer on the drift. That would be very successful. Okay, so while I was talking, we have got a bit behind schedule. So we are going to have to be serious now. As soon as the instability drops to 0, I am going to hit it with all 3 tractor beams. Hands are coming now. So maybe we will get a chance to edit these 2 videos tonight and get them uploaded, and maybe do one more tomorrow. This is me spending my Valentine's Day in Eve. Yeah, as I've got this thing in my real life where when I'm in a relationship, I tend to put less time into Eve, and when I'm out of a relationship, I tend to put more time in Eve. So you can read from the fact that I've recorded 2 videos on Valentine's Day what you will. Don't have to be Sherlock Holmes to figure that one out. Yeah, I'm probably giving away too much information here. Ah, what the hell. If we were talking in a pub, I would be doing that. I'm one of those tedious pub drunks. Where are we at? 13 with 5 minutes to go. So we've got to get 8 more cans. 5 minutes. I think that's... What I might do is I might park Sal, the coercer, up in one of the local stations and run and get the magnate. Escapes me. Because the magnate has scanning bonuses, so it will scan down these remaining 8 sites? 7 sites. Much quicker. Yeah, if you, again, dear hypothetical viewer, if you think of anything that you want me to have a go at, or there's anything that you think I've skipped over and need to give a bit more info on, please leave a comment or drop me a message and we'll endeavour to reply. What a fantastic word endeavour is. I'm surprised there isn't an Eve ship called Endeavour. Can't believe that there's a world in which somebody picked Flycatcher as a name for a ship over Endeavour. Going back to my theory about Amar being like the British Empire of old, can't help thinking that an Amarian ship should have been called an Endeavour. Dear CCP, please Do an Amarian ship called an Endeavour. Love, Andy. Where are we at? We have 4 more to go and 3 minutes. So we need 1 can per minute. More than 1 can per minute. I think that's doable. We love a challenge, don't we? So yeah, if we could get 2 deep flow rifts a day, it's going to be target. Run a couple of mining missions, or a couple of loads of ore. Run a couple of either security missions or sites. Sancha Refuge and Hideaway and drone clusters and drone assemblies are probably the ones to choose because relatively low risk, but you can get some decent salvage from them. At the drone sites, drop some salvage that you can't usually get in certain areas of space, so we might need some drone salvage or some of our industrial, some of our blueprints. 3 to go and 2 minutes. Oh, there's 2 to go in 2 minutes. I think we're going to do this. Oh, 1 more. Come on now. Come on, Sal. You've got this. I named Sal after my friend Sal in real life, who was one of my neighbours when I was a kid growing up. The naming of my ships can be a little arbitrary sometimes. Come on now, 1 more. We've got this. 1.5 minutes to go. Yes. Excellent. This is quite interesting as well. If I was in a fleet, I would get a bonus of 3 million ISK. A way in which I... As you can see, there's nobody nearby, so I can't join up with any. Okay, so I am going to loot those cans. Let's scoop the tractor unit. Right. Let's open up. So we have 42 proven deep flow rift canisters, and 1 glorified. Let's open the glorified. Glorified's a fantastic word. That dropped a frozen riber. Should we have a look at what a frozen riber is? I've got a couple of these. I'm not absolutely sure what they are. You caught a fish. It's been frozen for an indeterminable period of time and its structure warped by the abyssal environment in ways that are difficult to determine, so it has no nutritional or monetary value. Fantastic. A valueless fish, which kind of feels like a fantastic place to end the video. Thank you so much, everyone, for sticking with me and my drunken rambles. Please like and subscribe and click the alarm bell so you'll get a notification when I randomly upload more videos. Thank you. Fly safe, fly profitable, 07, love and hugs, etc. Good night.